Now let's talk about the video. So I've posted it up on YouTube and Facebook, and just over 100 people or so have watched it. I've got a few comments, and one negative comment just about how AI is just garbage and such. And in some ways I understand that. I absolutely feel that, because at a click of a button you can just create something that would have taken a visual artist or a musician hours to create. But that said, I like making videos. I've always dreamt of making really vivid videos, but I don't have the capability. I don't have money to hire artists and such. So I kind of like that I can do this now. So here's how I made the video. So right here is a file folder, and in this folder there are close to about 50 images. And what these images are images that I made on the computer. So you can see this one. I made them using AI. So either I used ChatGPT or I used Kling 2.0. So this shows where I made all these images. So you can see there's an image, there's a variation of the image. So here's an image that was in the video, him sitting by a food. And then here's a variation on that I didn't like as much, so I didn't use that one. And you can see, like, when there's a sequence where he's sitting on the park bench, I had another one where there's people in the background where, the people are looking at him. And if you look at this image here, I didn't like that. I was going to use this because I thought it'd be kind of cool if people are looking at him. But this guy right here is not actually looking at him. And these people are just kind of staring at something over here, which I didn't like. I used Photoshop and removed the people that were over there, and then I made it so that this guy looks like he's looking at him. So I wasn't going to use that in the video, but decided not to. So I had to create all those images. Then there's this image right here, which is used as for one of the sequences where it's going towards the window. And then I hid right here, there's a upside down picture of Kurt Cobain. In the actual AI made video, it didn't pick up that that's Kurt Cobain, so it just looks weird. Something weird's hanging on the wall there, which I kind of liked, so I just left it there. There's a bunch of images that I couldn't use, so this is in the video. This got animated with the light in the sky, but I didn't use this one. It just didn't look right. Here it created this one, and there's this dude here. I'm like, who the hell's that? Don't need that one. That one's kind of cool, but I didn't end up using it because I didn't like the scenery. It wasn't kind of like where they were supposed to be. This one's also kind of neat, but I didn't use it. And then I did use this one because it's the only one where I could kind of get it, where they were walking towards the crashed UFO and such. And you can see the character here looks like the character at the beginning of the video, but then this one, he looks kind of different. So I did use that one. Here he is, this one, but I had in the video, I've zoomed in like that, so you can't see this figure out there, because I thought, what the hell? And I love this kind of psychedelic stuff. Used all these things. This was the early test using Dvid, a free thing, but I didn't like it, so I ditched it. So now you can see all these little videos here, and every one of these videos is 5 seconds long. And you'll notice in the actual music video, some of the clips are longer than 5 seconds. So a lot of these I actually played slower, and then sometimes played clips over top of each other. So here's them walking towards the ship. See how fast they're walking? I didn't want them that fast, so I slowed it down. Some things I didn't end up using. Like, watch this guy going into the door here. He suddenly gets really big, or the door gets really small. It's like, whoa. So I couldn't really use the end of that clip. So there's that. There was this one where they were walking towards the ship, but it looked like in a totally different environment. Like they're in the American Midwest here, and I needed trees. So I couldn't use that one. So I had to create the other one that was used in the video. Well, I really like this image where sort of the mystery of the sky is coming on him there. And if you see, right here, you've got his arms hanging down like that. So this is the actual image I created first. See how he's sitting down? But in my video, he's just kind of run outside, and so he's not sitting down, he's standing. So I had to go into Photoshop. So here's the original image right there. And then using Photoshop, I made it so he's standing, and he's standing more like a zombie position. So that when the video was rendered, he would be starting in this position, and the AI would have to like figure out, okay, now how is he going to move from there? And that would be more realistic. So I think some of the stuff I learned by making this video was make the images as good as they can be right from the very beginning, because the image will dictate then how the AI is going to create make the characters move and things in the background. I found that when I was creating prompts, sometimes I'd create very detailed prompts about everything I wanted to have happen in this sequence, and then it would create the sequence, and it would be so whacked that I thought, man, this is unusable. And you have to pay for all your credits, so it can become expensive if you keep screwing up. So I experimented a bit with how detailed I was going to be. So I figure if the images are good and your prompts are logical, so like if it was just man walks outside, looks up in the sky, right? So just that prompt alone with the image was enough to create a really good sequence that was usable. It's only 5 seconds long. The important thing to add in was the camera movements and kind of the mood of the scene. So like I would say, camera moves slowly in, pans to the left slightly. So that the camera move would be appropriate for what I was trying to do. And for the most part, if I kept it simple and straightforward, I got great stuff right away. I also figured I didn't want to have to remake every one of these things over and over again, because I just go through my credits like crazy. So I if I got something that was say 50% usable or whatever, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll just clip it or shorten it or zoom in or whatever just to use it. So I was kind of frugal that way with all the clips from the video. All that said, it took about 30 hours to create the whole thing. So from storyboarding it out in my mind to creating all those images and then going into Photoshop and editing a lot of those and then dropping them into Kling 2.0, making all the sequences. It takes about 75 seconds for a single image to render into a 5-second video. Double that time if you want 10 seconds. But I did learn that the 10-second videos, they weren't very good at all. The weird stuff starts happening after 5 seconds. So I didn't make any more. I just made one like that. And then I put it all into Adobe Premiere and just strung the clips together, added my transitions and stuff. I should probably just click on that to show you what I did there. All right, so here's Adobe Premiere. Here's my full sequence. So you can see all the individual clips here. These are all the ones I made, all strung together with various different transitions. In some cases, they're stacked, and so you can see through all those clips, like in this sequence up here. Like if I just hit play, you can see how this sequence is a bunch of stuff overlapping, right? And now it fades into the next clip, fades into the next clip. Okay, so you can see like by overlapping the clips and having them fade, cross dissolve into one another, it's cool. But then I also used a bunch of these things, which are Footage Crate. So if you've ever been to Footage Crate, Production Crate, you pay a membership, but then you get access to all kinds of really cool things. So in this case, all this smoke that's right here. So if I turn it off, you can see that there's smoke added to that scene. And then not just that, but here's some, so you can see that lightning there? That's all Footage Crate. So I'll turn it off. So if I put it back on, so I'm just adding those layers in. They're kind of see-through layers that sit on top. That allowed me to add the lightning and even some of the spiraling through the black hole kind of thing. So that's all added later. AI didn't make that. Somebody else made that, and I purchased it and used it in my video. The alien head. So there's an alien head in this video that pops up every once in a while. You can see him there. If I just turn all this stuff off, you'll see him nice and clear. There he is there. So I initially started with making some alien heads in AI, and then I found two I liked, and then I put them into Photoshop and I actually combined them. So you can see that there's actually two heads superimposed on each other. I did that to get more depth in the image to make it look a bit more real. And then that shows up in the video just as a, I don't know, like an overlay every once in a while, like the aliens are watching. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video explaining the changing skies from a songwriting perspective, and then how to take that song and make something visual out of it. And it's really just experimentation with a new technology, images to video. And it's pretty fun. If you're into that kind of thing, I'd highly recommend it. Good times, but it'll cost you a little bit of money, so get ready for that. Bye.